Welcome back to Movie Facts. Today, we're stepping into the dusty plains of the Old West, the land of jewels, danger, and unforgettable stays. We're talking about one of the most legendary westerns ever made, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966, directed by Sergio Leone and starring the one and only Clint Eastwood. It's more than just a movie, it's a masterpiece that changed cinema forever. But behind those iconic shots, haunting music, and dusty ponchos are stories you've never heard before. So saddle up. Here are 15 amazing, weird, and little-known facts about Clint Eastwood and the making of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Fact 1. Clint Eastwood almost didn't return. Believe it or not, Clint Eastwood nearly turned down The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, though he had already starred in the first two films of Leone's Dollars trilogy, A Fistful of Dollars, and For a Few Dollars More, and wasn't thrilled about doing another. He thought the story might just be more of the same. But when Leone promised this would be bigger, deeper, and more epic, Eastwood agreed, under one condition. He wanted a massive pay raise. His salary jumped from $15,000 on the first film to $250,000 plus 10% of the profits for this one, a decision that made him a millionaire and a Hollywood superstar. Fact 2. Eastwood Man with No Name was never truly nameless. Fans often call him the man with no name, but that's actually a marketing invention. In the film itself, he's called Blondie by TUCO A Fistful of Dollars. He's called Joe, and in For a Few Dollars More, he's known as Manco. It was United Artists' idea to brand him as a mysterious drifter with no name when marketing the films internationally, Eastwood later joked. I had plenty of names, they just never bothered to remember them. Fact 3. The iconic poncho was never washed. That famous poncho Clint Eastwood wore, he used the same exact one in all three movies of the trilogy, and he never washed it once. Eastwood said the poncho was his armor, the defining part of his character's identity. Sergio Leone agreed, saying it gave him a timeless, almost mythic look. Decades later, the original poncho still exists, carefully preserved in Eastwood's personal collection. Fact 4. The opening scene took weeks to shoot. Sergio Leone was a perfectionist that he wanted every close-up, every glare, and every shadow to feel like a painting. The film's opening, where we meet the ugly Chuco bursting through a window, took nearly 3 weeks to film. Leone's crew waited hours each day just to get the right natural light. Clint Eastwood once said, "You didn't just act in Leone's movies. You survived them." Fact 5. The language barrier was real. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly was shot in Spain with an Italian director, a German actor, an American star, and a crew from 5 different countries. Most actors spoke their own languages on set. Leone shot without sound and dubbed everything later, that's why some characters' lips don't match their lines. Eastwood, who barely spoke Italian, often said it felt like filming in a Tower of Babel. Fact 6. Eastwood wasn't fond of his co-star Eli Wallach. Eli Wallach, who played Chuco, brought wild energy to the film, improvising lines, adding humor, and constantly moving. But Eastwood preferred quiet precision. Their working styles clashed off-camera. They respected each other, but Eastwood later admitted, "Chuco got on my nerves as much as he got on Blondie's." Ironically, that tension made their on-screen chemistry perfect. Fact 7. The bridge explosion scene was an accident. One of the film's biggest scenes, the bridge explosion, nearly ended in disaster. Sergio Leone ordered the bridge to be blown up for real, no miniatures. But due to a mistranslated command, the explosives went off too early, while the cameras weren't even rolling. No one was hurt, but the crew had to rebuild the entire bridge from scratch, costing production days and thousands of dollars. Fact 8. Eastwood smoked real cigars in every scene. Eastwood's character is rarely seen without his cigar, but it wasn't just a prop. Clint actually smoked them, even though he hated cigars. Leone insisted they were part of Blondie's identity. Eastwood later said, "They made me sick, but I figured that was part of the performance." He had a special pouch made to hold his supply of thin, hand-rolled cigars for continuity. Fact 9. The music was finished before filming. Composer Ennio Morricone created the score before the cameras even rolled. Leone directed scenes around the music instead of the other way around, a revolutionary idea at the time. That famous World War War theme mimics a coyote's howl, symbolizing the harshness of the desert and the wildness of the characters. Clint Eastwood said, "That music did half the acting for you." Fact 10. The cemetery scene took over 1,000 extras. The epic finale, the three-way standoff at the Sad Hill Cemetery, remains one of the greatest scenes in movie history. Leone built the entire cemetery from scratch in Spain using over 250 Spanish soldiers as labors to be by the time filming began. The set included over 5,000 fake graves stretching as far as the eye could see. The final ecstasy of gold sequence took 2 full weeks to shoot, and every frame looks like a moving painting. Fact 11. Eastwood's patience was tested. Sergio Leone was notorious for his long shooting days and slow pace that he might spend an entire day filming a single close-up. Eastwood grew frustrated with the delays and even threatened to walk off set. Leone responded with his usual charm. "Clint, don't just act. Breathe the desert." Years later, Eastwood admitted that Leone's perfectionism taught him more about directing than any film school ever could. Fact 12. It was almost rated X. In 1966, the film's violence shocked audiences, executions, hangings, explosions, all shown with brutal realism. The censors in Italy and the U.S. wanted to ban or heavily edit several scenes, calling them too sadistic. But Leone refused. He said, "War is ugly. That's the point." Eventually, it was released uncut, and audiences loved it. Fact 13. Clint kept the gun and the poncho. When filming wrapped, Eastwood quietly took home 3 souvenirs: his poncho, his revolver Colt .45, and his hat. Decades later, he revealed that he still owns all 3, displayed in his personal archive. He once said, "Every time I see that poncho, I smell Spain and gunpowder." Fact 14. The good, bad, and ugly title wasn't the original. Sergio Leone originally planned to call the movie The Two Magnificent Tramps. But when Clint Eastwood joined, the script evolved into something much larger. Leone came up with a new title to reflect the balance between its 3 anti-heroes: the good, Blondie; the bad, Angel Eyes; and the ugly, Chuco, that it perfectly captured the film's gritty moral world. Fact 15. It changed Clint Eastwood's life forever. Before the good, the bad, and the ugly, Clint Eastwood was just a TV actor from Rawhide. After it, he was a global icon. The film's success launched his Hollywood career, leading to Dirty Harry, Unforgiven, and dozens of directing achievements. Eastwood once said, "That film gave me everything: my career, my confidence, and my understanding of silence and storytelling." And that silence, that iconic stare, became his trademark forever. Bonus fact, the film was hated, then loved. When it first premiered, critics didn't get it. They called it too long, too violent, and too strange. But audiences adored it. Over time, it's become one of the most influential films ever made, inspiring directors like Quentin Tarantino, Martin Scorsese, and even George Lucas. And Ennio Morricone's score still sends chills down spines around the world. And there you have it, 15 fascinating facts about Clint Eastwood and the good, the bad, and the ugly. It wasn't just another Western. It was a revolution, a film that redefined what it meant to be a hero and turned a quiet American actor into one of cinema's greatest legends. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more hidden Hollywood stories and movie secrets, only on Movie Facts.